Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. What a day. Just got done watching St. John in Arkansas playing the second round battle, and one hell of a game. That was fun. Got two more exciting days of basketball coming at this first round, March Madness. But switching gears, yesterday, SmackDown. One hell of a show, really setting up WrestleMania 41. We got two more matches added to the card. CM Punk, we got Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Pretty much, I would guess that's going to be your main event of night one. I have not been to a two-night WrestleMania ever. Probably, some of the manias, WrestleMania 30, WrestleMania 32, if you broke them up, you did them over 2 days. They might even be better than they were, but that's probably one of the biggest things that the pandemic era gave us with WrestleMania, was splitting them up into 2 days and not making them feel like they were 8 hours long, where you basically feel like you need to go to bed right after the main event ends. They leave you, wanting to come back the next day, excited about what you've seen. But they're really putting together a really, really good card. If you remember back to WrestleMania 28, I was at work. I was reading the Raw spoilers as they came out, and they announced that Triple H and Undertaker was going to be a Hell in a Cell match. And I lost it. I was going bananas. I was thinking that WrestleMania 28 was going to be one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. And I think that this right here is shaping up to be a really, really good WrestleMania. I think that honestly, Cena versus Cody Rhodes right now is probably one of the biggest matches that they can put on. I definitely was thinking that there was matches that I wanted to see. Roman versus Cody 3 is going to be a big match whenever it takes place. If Roman wins the main event of night one, he's got to be in the driver's seat to be like number one contender some way, somehow. I really think that Cena's going to win the belt. But I do have a lot of questions about how they tie this whole storyline together. Does Cena do the dirty work and Cena wins the gold, but then Rock just comes in and basically thinks that it's his title and he's going to take it, and Cena's like, I did this. I haven't seen you in months, and now all of a sudden you're going to come around and act like this is yours. Maybe we see something between Cena and Rock. If that happens, basically everybody's going to be hungry for Cena versus Rock 3. And, when and how are they going to be able to deliver that? Be one hell of a match for both guys, honestly. But, at this point of their career, and Cena saying he's done, that's gonna leave somebody with 2 wins over 1 win. And you got to wonder if that's something that either one of those guys want to do. I think that Rock will go out there and lose a match. He did win last year in that tag match. But I don't know. I really don't see them being like overprotective about who beat who and who's better than who. Both of them had really, really damn good careers that are going to go on for a really, really long time. But we've got, our other championship match. We've got Gunther versus Jay. Jay, it was going to be hard to keep him as hot as he once was. But he's cooled off a little bit. It would have been fun if he had some sort of storyline that, kept him going. I don't want to throw Jimmy to the wolves. Jimmy's really doing nothing. If Jimmy came out and basically was saying that he's the better Uso, I know that we saw Jimmy versus Jay last year, but if we had a storyline kept on going on, something like that for him to do, rather than, even if it wasn't Jimmy, maybe if it was like some other guy who was a tag team wrestler that really isn't kind of doing anything right now, that could have been saying he got lucky. That's the only reason why he's wrestling for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. maybe that's something that could keep him hot and keep your mind off why we can't see, Jay versus Gunther right now. And Gunther has to keep on coming out and just basically choking him out and beating him up each and every night to keep on reminding us that they're going to have a match. Tiffany versus Charlotte. I think that Charlotte is one of the best wrestlers that WWE's ever had. I'm a big fan of hers. I would love to see this be, Tiffany's time, basically beating Charlotte, and then Charlotte has to be like, wait a minute. Before I got injured, I was one of the best. I came back. I thought I was just going to be sitting on the top of the crown again. That's kind of what everybody expects. She loses, and she kind of has to, figure it out, how to get back to the mountaintop. And I know this isn't like the downfall of her career. She has been around for a long time. But, it could be a story rather than just giving her the belt, which we all know is going to piss everybody off. And it looks like with the other women's championship, we got the Bianca Belair, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley match. Not something I'm too excited for. But, I'm just not, I don't really know much about Io Sky. I'm not the biggest Bianca Belair fan. Rhea Ripley, I think, is somebody that could just dominate anybody. One of the biggest women's matches that could get me excited was Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte, a match that I thought we were going to get at WrestleMania, but Rhea ended up losing the belt, and they went a different way. But this looks like a really, really fun Mania. Oh, I didn't even talk about it because I just started talking about the Roman Seth match that they named. They also named Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. Really good match. Two hard hitters, two big names, putting them up against each other at Mania. Honestly, in my head, I thought we'd seen Orton, versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania before. I thought maybe they happened at 36, but I was wrong. But it was Owens versus Seth Rollins is the match that I honestly thought. So those guys can go out there and beat the hell out of each other. Don't really know what happens when somebody wins that. It's not like that's going to be something that like a guy goes there. But, Orton, every time this rolls around, you got to be wondering when it's going to be Orton's time. Orton was a rookie in 2002. He's been doing this forever. Is he going to wait until Cena's time is over and then basically, throw it out there? For him to come back from the injury that he had, that he loves this stuff. And it's in him, and I think he wants to do it as long as he can do it. It seems like WWE gives him enough time off where he's able to be home with his family and stuff like that. But from here on out, it looks like we're going to be getting AJ and Logan Paul. That could be a really, really good match if they let them go out there and do their shit and have fun. Something with U.S. title. That one looks like it's bouncing around with a lot of names on SmackDown. You got Logan Paul with the championship. You got to be thinking if it's some sort of a multi-man match where the bloodline's in there, where you've got Solo Sikoa, and if they're gonna fight each other, Jacob Fatu, or if that's going to be a one-on-one deal, or they get to fight it out inside of like a United States multi-man championship, whether if that's like a ladder match or just a four corners match or something like that. But Nakamura sort of disappeared since losing the title. He was around in that, but then you also look over at the Intercontinental Championship. Doesn't really look like that's going to be a one-on-one affair. But seeing Braun Breaker wrestle in his first WrestleMania, I think I've talked about being a fan of his for a long time since he was in NXT. Being able to be at his first WrestleMania. Would love for him to get a win out of this, but if he can just like continue on in some sort of storyline where we see him more. I understand, they cut a little bit of time out of Raw. I think everybody loves it at 2.5 hours, but I think you've been noticing that people aren't around week to week. And when you don't see them, you tend to sort of forget about them, or maybe you think the company gave up on them because that's just the way it's always been in the past. But as a guy going to a WrestleMania that a lot of people are down on and negative about. I mean, I went to WrestleMania 26. I went to WrestleMania 27. Both of those WrestleManias going into them, people thought that WWE had lost their fastball and that these WrestleManias weren't going to be good. A lot of times it's just people who didn't buy tickets, couldn't go, are going to start talking negative about it. And it is what it is. But I started to get a little scared about WrestleMania 41. But I think a lot of it is just, believing a lot of the things that people are saying, that prices are so high. But there's tickets out there to buy. But when you really look at it, it's really not that many. And I think at the end of the day, it might not be 100% full, but it's definitely going to be like 90% full, and it's going to be awesome. WrestleMania is coming together. Damn good card. Can't wait.